Hello everyone, and welcome once again to the Heir's Lair. I'm your host, Jonathan Taylor. This week I remembered that aside from book reviews, I also do writing advice videos, and I decided I would do just that this week. Namely, I would give writing advice on a topic I first thought about a year ago actually, but it is only now, or only this week, that I actually figured out how to talk about that topic. And the topic in question, as the title of this video has already given away, is Isekai. To those of you who are unfamiliar with the term, it stems from the Japanese language, and it translates to otherworld or different world. As a fiction genre, it is an offshoot of portal-based fiction, and it refers to a main character, or a main cast, but I'll refer to a main character from now on for the sake of brevity, being transported into a world different from their own and having to, cope with it. The travel typically occurs from a world that is similar to the one the audience would recognize, to one that the audience acknowledges is fictional. However, the reverse is not uncommon either. This definition, while useful, is still has some gray areas. The two main ones being how broadly these two worlds are defined, or more precisely how strictly they are separated, and how travel between these worlds occurs. One could argue that Lewis Carroll's Alice books, Peter Pan, and Star Trek, or really any kind of story with interplanetary travel, counts as isekai, even though the term itself is used to refer to more modern stories. Given I said it's an offshoot of portal-based fiction, maybe the travel has to occur through a portal? If yes, does that mean that the Chronicles of Narnia count as isekai? Wikipedia adds another layer to this definition cake by limiting the gray areas as follows. First of all, the main protagonist is displaced, i.e. travels against their own volition to this other world, and this other world is either a fantasy world, an alternate universe, or a virtual reality. That is the definition I personally think is the most fitting. However, I acknowledge that all of this definition talk really only talks about the edges of the of the concept, and not enough and doesn't really acknowledge the filling of it, the actual point, which is that of a main character, or just simply a character who has to deal with a world which for them is strange, unknown, perhaps indifferent, and potentially hostile. Keyword here is that they have to interact with it. But interacting doesn't just mean talking. It means being able to use their wits and their other distinctive attributes in order to figure out what's going on around them, and potentially even how to get back to their own world. As a writer, when it comes to writing isekai, there are certain advantages, or should I say prerogatives at your disposal. Namely, the fact that you can use your main character to present the story in a quasi-naturalistic way, as well as present the other characters and their goals in a personal manner that allows for greater immersion. And as I've said, or at least I think I've said, that doesn't just mean talking or networking. That also means using the tools and administrative resources at the character's disposal in order to make a difference within the world. Therefore, you have to wonder, how does someone receive food and water within this world? What is the level of industry? What does scientific development look like? What are the economic, legal, or administrative processes that that guide the functioning of this world? Or if you want to go outside of the societal level, you should address how the flora and fauna of the world are like. What kinds of biomes can the characters expect to encounter? And what kinds of hazards can the environment present to them? Or, alternatively, what kind of features does the environment present? And is there anything they can use to help them accomplish their goals? But then again, this is really just, and that is just a filling. I'm not going to say it's window dressing, but it is necessary in order to flesh out the world. But its actual core and the actual point of the story itself is more a series of questions and answers. And the main point is how this main character how does the main character or any other characters they encounter interact with the setting. As I've said, it's about a series of questions and answers. As the author, you already have all the answers. Presumably, you scattered them throughout the setting. After that point, you have to figure out what kind of questions would your characters ask, and how they would search for answers within the setting. That is something you should be able to. That is something you should be able to figure out by now, because as the author, you already know what kinds of characters you are writing about, and you also know what it is they are after, and what kind of setting they stem from. Now you have to find a through line which allows you to pick out how they use the setting in order to accomplish their goals. You have to figure out, as I've said, that row of questions and answers. What questions do the characters start with, and how can they use the environment around them, and their own personal attributes, in order to figure out what the answers to their questions are. Once you have those elements in place, you should be able to just write to your heart's content. And yeah, that was my video. Sorry if it was a little bit more rambly than usual. It's kind of a really rambly topic if you really think about it. Regardless, thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, well then please leave a like, maybe even share this video wherever you think other people will like it or find it helpful as well. If there is anything you'd like to add to what it is I've just said, well, that's what the comment section is for. And if you want to see when my next video gets released, well then please subscribe. And ideally also ring the bell or do whatever else YouTube will ask of you in order to keep you notified. My debut book, Heir to the Empire Next Generation, is available at most major book retailers under a master link in the description down below. Right past all of my social media links, which I also suggest you check out should you choose to. My Patreon is down in the description as well in case you want to support me more directly. Until next time, I'm Jonathan Taylor, and this has been The Heir's Lair.